Hey, how is everyone doing today? And yes, it is April Fool's, at least at the time of recording. Hopefully the video comes up at the same day. But today's going to be a little different. It's the similar format of the news report videos that I did in the past. However, I'm going to be changing it up a bit to make it a bit more dynamic in a way and allow for more stories to be told without having to do as much work on my own end and making the videos super long for you guys to watch. So without a further ado, let's look into the past week's top news stories relating to the supernatural or paranormal events happening in our world and universe. Starting us off is actually a bit of a bummer on my account, but actually we have a report coming in from NASA, or at least someone from NASA in the past, saying that they don't actually believe that extraterrestrials have visited us. Now, the person in question is actually Alan Bean, who was one of the 12 people to have walked on the moon. Alan Bean was actually a member of the Apollo 12 mission and was the fourth person to step foot on the lunar surface back in 1969. Despite actually going out into space and being one of the few people to step foot on our moon, Alan doesn't really believe the possibility of extraterrestrials' visitation to Earth. And to clear it up, he more so believes that extraterrestrials or alien life forms of any sort have visited Earth. There is a bit of debate on whether or not he actually even believes in aliens altogether, but in a news interview with Australia's news.com, he is quoted saying, "I do not believe that anyone from outer space has ever visited the Earth." And that's how this all spiraled off. Hopefully you guys aren't too bummed out that one of our own astronauts doesn't believe in the possibility of aliens coming here, but who knows. And moving on to our next story, we have a strange one that I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking into as I'm recording because it threw me for a loop. And the article in question is "Woman Blames Car Crash on Bigfoot Sighting." Yeah, so an unidentified motorist ended up hitting a deer on her car after being distracted by what she says a hairy beast. The incident, which happened in Layton County, Ohio on Wednesday night, this being the 21st of March as the story came out later. The woman in question, whose name is not being released, spotted an 8-foot tall creature chasing some deer along the road. Glancing out of her rear view mirror in an effort to spot a better look of the creature, she became momentarily distracted and ended up colliding with one of the deers that had darted out in front. Suffering from minor neck injuries, she will be okay, although she continued driving to pick up her husband from work before heading to the local sheriff and reporting what had happened. An investigation later revealed no evidence of an unknown creature at the scene of the incident. So, who knows? Who knows if she's telling the truth, or maybe it was just a dark night and she saw something. But we'll never know. We got some creepy ghost stories and another extraterrestrial story. So starting us off, we have a creepy face that was caught peering out of an empty car. Now this story was posted on November 27th, and a car enthusiast got quite a surprise when he reviewed a recent photograph that he had taken of his vehicle. This particular image was recently shared on the Unexplained Mysteries discussion forum by user ASAS_daughter. Shows what looks to be a strange face peering out from the car's front passenger window. The user writes, "My friend has recently looked back through his camera reel and found this photo that he took of his and his friend's car. He was sitting in a restaurant across the road and was taking a photograph of his car because it was new, and as a typical boy loved his car. He realized then that something was appearing to be a person inside of his car, although the vehicle should have been completely empty at the time. I said it looked like someone was leaning out of his car, and he said definitely wasn't anyone in there because he would have been really pissed off. Anyways, just thought I would share this, even if it is nothing. It seems pretty creepy to us." Now, looking into this, the photo does kind of look a little strange, I'm not gonna lie, but there's always the possibility of the pareidolia effect and our minds just simply wanting to see a face in things that aren't there. But who knows, it is a new car, perhaps there was an old user. From what I can tell, there's not really a whole lot of information to help decode what this is, but what do you guys think? The photo is up. Write down what you think about this photo in the description below, if you believe there is actually a ghost in the car, or is it possibly just something in the background, or just a blur image that your mind's trying to create a face out of. Our next story steers us away from cars and onto the sea, as a ghost seems to be stirring aboard the USS Lexington. Visitors of this popular attraction came across something they actually didn't really expect. The USS Lexington was built during World War II and was turned into a museum shortly after being decommissioned in 1991, and was remaining popular tourist attraction ever since. The vessel has long been associated with reports of paranormal phenomena, such as the fact that there have been featured on several shows, including Ghost Hunters and Ghost Lab. However, now new footage has surfaced showing what appears to be a door aboard the ship being heavily slammed shut by an unseen force. The recording has been made by a family who has been visiting the vessel while the incident occurred. The local news report featuring the footage can be viewed right now. I will try to put it in the video. If I can't, I'll send a link for you guys to go view it yourselves. And for the last news report we have for today, there was apparently a 1,200-foot wide UFO reported over the Gulf of Mexico recently, and I didn't know about this until very recently. Crew members of an offshore supply ship claimed the object was 5 times the size of his vessel. The encounter, which has since been reported by the National UFO Reporting Center, occurred on Tuesday in an area approximately 80 miles to the southeast of New Orleans, close to 7 p.m. on March 21st, just before dusk. Myself and 4 of the crew members aboard our vessel saw a craft which appeared to be 5 times our 240-foot vessel in length, the man wrote. The craft rose up over the water in the Gulf of Mexico. About 40 feet, no water was dripping from the craft. Within a split second, the craft disappeared at a 30-degree angle into the sky. The report was considered so compelling, in fact, that the National UFO Reporting Center has highlighted it as one of the most significant of the recent submissions and is now actively searching for other witnesses. We spoke via telephone to the witness, and he seemed to us to be unusually sober-minded, the organization wrote on its website. Not sure why they wrote it like that, but I guess they assumed all seamen are drunk half the time. We suspect that he is very capable and very reliable witness. He estimated that upwards to perhaps 50 people who were aboard the nearby vessels may have witnessed the event as well. As of right now, I believe they are still looking into witnesses, although they probably found a few by now. It's been about a week. However, I am not able to find any articles that really dive further into this report. However, it is very interesting that a UFO of this size has been reported in the Gulf of Mexico flying off into the sky. That's something you would think the news would report on more often. I suppose it may have, but I don't follow the news down in New Orleans or the southeast, so I have a bit of a bias in trying to figure it out. But what do you guys think? That is all the news reports we have for this week. What were some of the stories that you enjoyed the most? And if you had any of your own that I did not report upon, please let me know down in the comments below. I would love to read them and love to look into them. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and the subscribe button to stay up to date, as I provide a variety of supernatural and paranormal topics for you guys each and every week. And if you do, don't forget to hit that little bell button on the side to stay notified for any videos and activities that I provide in the future. Until then, guys, remember, stay spooky.